it's Bonnie Rigsby, the owner of Let Your Soul Breathe. I am actually here today to wrap up our 5-week series on stress management. And this week's life stressor, the final one, is death. Now, obviously, death is a huge stressor, one that is very difficult to manage, but we do have some tips to help you on the way. So I hope that from my experience and perspective of the many times I've dealt with this subject, coupled with advice I've been given over the years and just different learnings and techniques that we've heard about, every little bit helps, y'all. It takes time. The thing about a death is it's so permanent and it affects so many aspects of your life and your heart that you have to give yourself some time. So the first tip is take your time and grieve, y'all. There will be many people out there who will tell you, hurry up and get over it, or you're not done with that yet, or whatever, or they may not say it, but they may insinuate it. Don't use anyone's timeline but your own. Everyone is different. The way they handle it is different, and no one ever needs to make you feel guilty for taking your time in the grieving process. Now, it's important that you move forward each day with good intention to heal and to take steps in that direction. We certainly don't want to sit in the same spot for 5 years or that kind of thing, but you still have to take your time and grieve, and don't let anyone dictate your time frame, okay? This is a tough thing to get through. You can do it. One of the key things that you should remember whenever you are experiencing a death, it's easy to fall apart, and of course emotionally we are just a wreck, a hot mess, however you want to put it. But it is very crucial as you work through the time it takes to heal and to go through the many pieces that are attached with the death of a loved one. You know, oftentimes there's planning and funeral and expenses and things that you have to focus on. But while you are doing that, you have to save a little bit for yourself, y'all. You have to make sure you're getting some rest, getting some peace, even if it's 5 minutes of just zoning out and meditating and just focusing on your breath. Anything to take you out of that traumatic space for a few minutes, and then increase that from day to day. Please remember self-care. It is more crucial than ever, and in order for you to function, to help your family, to be supportive for other friends and family members, and to even have the energy to do the things you need to do, you have to still take care of yourself. One of the things that has helped me over the years with all of the deaths that I've experienced, many people very close to me, you can have that ritual be something that's meaningful to you or that was meaningful to the person that passed. You know, I like to do little quirky stuff, like, you know, on my dad's birthday, I'll go fly a butterfly kite, because we used to catch butterflies and enjoy butterflies when we were young with my dad. So there's little rituals that we will do that kind of reminds us their energy and spirit are still here on special moments or any day of the year. And those things can help give you some comfort, even though you don't physically have your loved one here anymore. Those rituals are so powerful, y'all. They really can help you heal. They can make you feel their presence. You can kind of start to shift your focus on maybe feeling them around or honoring them on a regular basis in some way, through a ritual or through something that you take action on or something you say or do. All of those things are honoring your loved one and bringing them closer to your heart. And they do help you heal. So I encourage you to take steps in that direction. Whether it's one person or 5 people that you can depend on to help you through this very difficult process. We have all been there, in some way, shape, or form. And the support of each other is so important for you. You know, we were all put on this earth to create and to be here for each other, to collaborate on things, to share things, to help each other through really tough times. Now, a lot of times grief comes in stages. You know, in the beginning you may be quite shocked and just almost numb because you're kind of going through emotions in a robotic fashion. And so sometimes it can be almost like you have a blurriness in front of you and you're just kind of functioning, you know. And then you're going to have periods of time that it's harder. You're going to have periods of time where you just fall completely apart, and it's totally normal. You have to allow yourself to be human and continue to go through those emotions because they are normal. Don't surround yourself with negative people. If people are gossiping and being negative, separate yourself, y'all. It does nothing but make things worse for you and everybody else. Now that includes negativity in your own mind. Society right now that's causing so much trauma is a lack of connection among humans. We were placed here to be connected, to help each other, and so no one should ever feel alone. It's a huge stress. Being bullied, being hurt, it leads to many awful things, including suicide. We need to learn to handle those life stressors, y'all. So please put some effort into connecting with your brothers and sisters, with your loved ones and friends, with strangers. We all need to just help each other. And sometimes it takes one person, random stranger, to say just the right positive thing to totally change your world around. So you be the one today to plant that seed for someone else. Through this stress management series, 1 through 5, the top 5 life stressors, there are certain things that they have in common that you'll notice the theme kind of come up from time to time. One of them is we have a tendency to beat ourselves up. You have to understand we're human and none of us are here to be perfect. We're here to grow, we're here to learn. A conscious decision to not make the same mistake twice, and then you're good. Don't beat yourself up. Just acknowledge, take note, and move on. The biggest thing that's across all 5 life stressors is learning how to control your mind. We talk about that background noise often, and that's because it is such a problem and we need to fix it, y'all. The more that background noise plays in our mind, the stories that we have fed ourselves, we continue to feed it. Yeah. And it just feeds it, makes it a bigger monster. We have to learn to control that mind, and across all of these stressors, if you can do one thing, learn to control your thoughts in your mind to positive things as often as possible. Practice. It's going to help you get through all of these tough stressors and all the other thousands of stressors that are out there. It's the number one tool that will help you the most. Now, the recent news about the Colorado shooting really rocked me. I can only imagine the families and the people that were directly involved, but it's a big black mark on all of our souls, and we're all going to be continually trying to heal from the tragedies in the world that we're seeing. I encourage you, again, lean on each other. Make sure you're giving yourself time to work through the emotions, acknowledge the emotions, work through them, get support. You know, some folks need professional support. Seek it if you feel like you need it, and don't feel like it makes you lesser than because you're asking for help. If you have not already done so, please watch my YouTube video talking about the actual school shooting, and I just kind of share some thoughts to plant seeds and see if we can all kind of come together to make a difference to avoid the senseless deaths that are happening, y'all. exciting, y'all. I was so excited to share this with y'all, and I'm telling you, it is totally true. I noticed when I started this stress management series, I happen to love acronyms. And I'll share with you a visual next so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about, but I love acronyms. So I was thinking about the top 5 stressors, and I said, okay, let me find kind of a catchy acronym that is memorable, easy for me to kind of remember what each one is, to use the first letter of each name of the life stressor as my acronym, my cue, so to speak. And as I started to write, I literally got chills, and it took my breath. Now, I know a lot of you don't know my dad or my family, but I'll share just a little bit with you. My dad's name was Jim. He went by Jim. His name was James. And the funny thing is, when my son was little, he could not pronounce granddaddy because it was a long name for a little kid. And so what he could get out was DD. That was the description that you could visit or hear, was DD. And so that's what he called him his entire life. He was known as DD instead of granddaddy. Now, when I started to write, immediately it popped out. My acronym was Jim DD. What, y'all? Yes! So the acronym was based off of J for job, I for illness, M for moving, D for divorce, D for death. So the part that even wraps it up even more, as if the acronym wasn't already a high five from my dad and just kind of acknowledgement that he's here with me, which again shows they're still around, y'all. They're still with us even after death. But what it also did was give me confirmation that I was on the right path. I really knew that I was anyway, but sometimes it helps to get that extra heaven wink, just that extra little something to say, yes, you're on the right path. And just a little backstory, I feel like I have Daddy's blessing to say this, so I'm going to share it with you. So my dad passed years ago from lung cancer, and as all of you know, cancer is such an awful thing for anyone to have to experience, patient especially, but also for the loved ones and caregivers watching their loved ones suffer. So my dad went through a lot, and to this day in my heart, I truly believe his cancer was caused by stress. Very heavy, chronic, lifetime stress that we carry in ourselves our entire existence. And when I made the decision to move to Arizona to pursue my passion, move forward with an aspect of my life that was very important to me, to be of service to others, I did so part of it, my husband had a job transfer, but another big part in my mind was to live for my dad. My dad got taken earlier than he should have, and I felt in my soul, not only from losing my dad, but from so many people that were close to me, that I felt like their life had been taken away, and I wanted to honor them by living my life to the fullest, not just going through robotic motion. And my dad was the primary motivator in my mind, because my dad grew up in pretty rough circumstances. When my dad was young, his mother was very ill, and unfortunately was in a hospital for many, many years, all of my dad's childhood. So he grew up without a mother. That pain stuck with him his entire life. And because he was never able to clear that pain, the normal pain of work and all the things that we all go through added up. And by the way, y'all, if you hear these birds in a minute, it just shows that my dad's with us here right now. There's something called peach-faced lovebirds out here in Arizona. Very rarely do you actually see them in person. and they are above me in the trees right now talking to us. They look like brightly colored parrots, and they're in the trees right here. I have not seen them since I've been in Arizona, 7 years-ish, and here they are, right here while I'm talking about Daddy. So tell me that's not serendipitous heaven winking, y'all. They're right here. So because I made the decision to start this stress management business as a way to help others not go through what my dad went through, not go through what so many people go through that causes pain and illness and disease, I wanted to change that. And so my purpose, I've discovered, is stress management, helping people cope with their stress. So what better way to honor him than to have a stress management business, teaching people how not to do what he did and hold on to that pain to the point that it creates pain and disease and struggle and illness. Live my life to the fullest, not wasting moments, and also to honor him through helping to heal others from the stress that I believe took my dad from this earth. And so for him to show up, not only in these birds above us right now, which is making me teary, obviously, but also just looking at that acronym when I wrote it down and had made this decision to do those 5 life stressors, not even thinking for a second what that meant. But when you see that and have that impactful moment on paper, it's just an example, y'all, of shifting the mindset. When we have a death, remember, they're still with you. They're just with you in a different way. So look for the signs, listen, feel with your heart, and you will feel that that connection is very much still there. And we will miss their physical bodies and their souls that interact with us on a regular basis. But I assure you, they are here with us every moment of every day, and they're giving us these little heaven winks to let us know when we're on the right track. So I hope that example helps you. I wanted to share it with you because I thought it was so beautiful, and boy did it warm my soul to hear my dad going, yes, do that. That's what you need to do. So I hope that you will stay tuned for future vlogs. We're going to do something a little different in the coming weeks. We're going to have a lot of things going on. I'm going to kind of do some live videos. For now, I wish you peace, love, and light, y'all. And visit letyoursoulbreathe.com if you are interested in having a one-on-one appointment with me to talk about your stress. I have to give a plug to all the moms out there because this is launching on Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day, y'all. I'm so excited that all of you are being celebrated today. As a mom, it's one of my favorite things in the entire world, taking care of children and loving with all of your soul, which is what moms do. So every mom out there deserves to be honored. Please be good to your mom today. Thank you to every mom out there. As we know, it's all about sacrifice and love, and we're pretty good at it as moms. So rock on, you mothers out there. Love you all. Thank you for all that you do to make our kids better and to allow their souls to breathe freely.